Welcome back to our Teach About AI series. I'm Mrs. Cannikins. Our goal is to empower teachers to have great talking points when it comes to AI so that when the topic comes up, you know what to say to your students. You can use this simple lesson either as a play and pause video where you just play pause and have the discussions as they go along, or teachers, you can watch this ahead of time so that you have the knowledge and the lesson ideas back in your mind so that when those teachable moments about AI come up, you have some information to deliver to them. This time on About AI, we are going to be looking at the issue of plagiarism, copyright issues, and really, is AI cheating? If you haven't already, you can go back and take a look at the rest of this series where we look at bias, misinformation, hallucination, safety, and privacy. This is video 5 in our series. We hope you'll watch the rest. So, the big question, when is it okay to use AI? When is it cheating? When is it plagiarism? Well, we're going to look at these 3 topics. And the first one is when your teachers give you permission. And if you're not sure, you need to ask. Teachers, right here, this is a great protocol for that whole question of when can I use AI. You might consider using this stoplight protocol: red light, yellow light, green light. I believe it's from Dan Fitzpatrick, although I've seen it in lots of different places. So red light is, be upfront with your students. This is not an AI assignment. It's just the way it's built, and there will be issues if you do use AI. And then there should be times when it's a yellow light, when students can obtain permission. They'll need to have a chat with you about what they intend to do, how they intend to use AI, and you can say maybe yes to this and no to this. You can give them some guidance. And then teachers, sometimes you are going to hopefully be having green light AI lessons, ones where you are asking the students to use AI in certain ways. Maybe it's to generate images, maybe it's to brainstorm, maybe it's to get feedback on their writing, but you are the one who gives us suggestions about when and what is appropriate for AI. And then at the end, we need to also teach our students how they will indicate their use of AI, and we are going to look at some ideas for that as well today. So, when do I cite? Here's some things to consider. When we are paraphrasing, quoting, or using any content that we have generated from AI, from an AI tool, that is when we should do some citing of AI. That certainly will be images. It will be text. It might be data or code or other pieces that AI creates for you. Additionally, you should also get into the habit, teachers, of asking your students to acknowledge the functional uses of AI tools. So did they use it to edit? Did they get feedback from it? Did they use it for a translation? Did they use it as a brainstorming partner? Did they use it to create an outline? There's so many possibilities of ways that they could use it that aren't just straight up copying. And so you might get into the habit of developing a simple Google form that you give to students, and it's got a couple questions perhaps about how they used AI and the extent, and you can do some editing to get that form to the place that it works for you. There's lots of templates out there available. And as always, we always want to teach our students about the importance of verifying any links or sources that AI gives us, especially ChatGPT. It will make up links. It'll look like a perfectly good link, but it'll go nowhere. And so it can absolutely give us false links, false sources. Those should always be checked. They should never be trusted full out without those human eyes. Remember that 80-20 rule. So when students have used AI, this is how they will cite. I'm going to give you an MLA example and an APA example. So the first piece up there is the template. And so remember, when we're using citations or we're writing a citation, we need to have every period, quotation mark, italics, all of that has to be specifically the same. And so it's great to use a template, and there's a tool underneath here. So the example will give us what that should look like. That helps us use those templates for the MLA style. And you'll notice that it does have you cite by using the whole prompt. And so some prompts are pretty long. That's okay. That whole prompt should go in there in quotation marks, and then the word prompt after, period. And then you can follow through with the rest there. Go line by line, section by section, including the date and the tool that you used. Here is APA format. It looks different, just like APA format does. And teachers, you will want to be clear with your students whether you are asking them to cite in APA or MLA format. Let's give that a try. I would suggest that you let your students use Perplexity AI. It's a tool that they can use that creates content, AI content, but they don't need to log in. And so you might give them a prompt about a novel that you're doing or a science experiment, give them some ideas, and then have them cite that prompt, practice that. You might want to peer evaluate that to make sure that the periods and the periods and the quotation marks, all the things are in the right place. Pause the video, go back to either the MLA screen or the AP screen so students have that. And once they have done some practicing, come on back and we will continue the video. Okay, so we are going to continue here, and we are going to ask when AI is okay to use, what is being assessed? And so these are some really good questions to help us understand, as both teachers and students, what is being assessed can determine what type of AI we use. So if your writing is being assessed, then using an AI tool would be considered plagiarism if the AI is doing the writing. So if it's looking at your writing, your sentence structure, your style, even perhaps your grammar and mechanics, if that's what's being tested, we don't want the AI to be doing the work. We want you to be doing the work. Now, conversely, if your ideas are being assessed, then it would be inappropriate to ask the AI to give you an outline or to brainstorm ideas. That would be academic dishonesty, which of course is what we want to stay away from. So on the opposite side, if your ideas are not being assessed, then AI can be super helpful in helping you come up with some ideas to choose from, brainstorm ideas. So make sure that if the thing that counts, if the thing that's being assessed, that's what you shouldn't giving your teacher the AI answer for. Again, this red light, green light, yellow light form or idea, when is that appropriate? That's a great way to handle that as well. Here is one last way to frame AI plagiarism, and this is Matt Miller's cheating scale or cheating continuum. At the bottom of the scale, we have no help whatsoever, no partner help, no internet help, pen and paper. Student is just straight up doing their own work. At the top of the chart is a student uses a prompt, they copy, they paste, no thought, and they submit that. So along the way, in between, there is a whole scale of what might be considered appropriate or what might be considered cheating. And that is the question and the discussion that we want you to have with your students. So you can stop, read through this activity or read through this continuum and have that discussion. Some potential questions might include whether that cheating line is always in the same place, or does it depend on the assignment and the type of assignment? Again, that question of what is being assessed might determine where that line of cheating is. Give some examples of when that line might change. And then is there some work that is more appropriate or less appropriate for using AI? So pause the video here, go back to that cheating continuum and have a great discussion, and then we'll come on back and wrap up. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope that you had a robust discussion about when AI is appropriate and when it might be cheating. And just getting that question out in the open and having that discussion will help your students start to understand. And as you know, this is all fairly new, and so that the answers to those questions might change, but the important thing is that there's a dialogue and that we're not trying to sneak it, but that we're having open and honest discussions about it. Come back next time when we're going to look at why it matters, why we want to avoid being over reliant on AI, and help our students to understand that even though you can use AI, that it's not always the right thing to do, and that there are still important skills that we want to make sure that we can develop without only being able to ask a computer to do those things. So I will see you next time on About AI. Go back, watch all those other videos. Until then, get used to AI, use it responsibly, ask your teacher if it's appropriate.